only 3% of AI startups ever reach a billion-dollar valuation. The other 97% make the same fatal mistake, and you are about to see exactly what that mistake looks like. Most people watching this probably think the AI startup gold rush is just about raising billions and hiring engineers. They see the headlines, another company valued at $10 billion overnight, and assume the formula is simple: build something flashy, get funded, scale. But here is the real number: 97 out of every 100 AI startups fail within 3 years. Not because they lack money. Not because the tech isn't there. They fail because they chase the wrong problem. The problem every amateur founder runs after is building a better model. They think if they can beat the latest GPT on a benchmark, they win. But history says the winners do something else entirely. They don't build better models. They build better distribution around existing models. That is the pattern of the 3%, and it's the thread that ties together every $10 billion outcome, including the one that just happened this week. The moment that changed everything happened on a Tuesday. Jeff Bezos, who has been notoriously quiet about his AI moves, sat down with CNBC and revealed that his new startup Prometheus just closed a $12 billion funding round. $12 billion. Not a valuation, a raise. That makes it one of the largest single funding events in AI history, and Bezos did it without ever launching a product. His exact words: "We're not being secretive, we're just being disciplined." The market expected a flashy demo, a competitor to ChatGPT. Instead, he described something that sounded less like a chatbot and more like a utility. He talked about infrastructure, about enterprise adoption, about the plumbing layer of AI. And that is when the pattern from the 3% snapped into focus. What most founders miss is that the big money in AI isn't in selling subscriptions to consumers. It's in selling picks and shovels to the enterprise. Prometheus, according to sources close to the company, isn't building another chatbot. They are building the operating system that lets any company deploy AI at scale securely. Think of it as the Oracle of the AI era. The trials here are brutal. Enterprise sales cycles are 18 months long, every bank wants an on-premise solution, and regulators demand explainability. But here is the shock stat: enterprise AI spending is on track to hit $300 billion annually by 2028, and the 3% who solve the trust and integration problem will own that entire market. Bezos's playbook, keep the product invisible until it's woven into the fabric of 1,000 corporations, is exactly how AWS won. And this is where the real obstacle appears. The biggest obstacle facing Prometheus is not technical, it is psychological. The entire market is hypnotized by consumer AI. Every week, a new ChatGPT wrapper raises $50 million, and the temptation to pivot is immense. But Bezos's team has reportedly ignored all of that, burning cash on long-term infrastructure while competitors chase quick wins. The real risk is that by the time the product is ready, the incumbents will have locked in the top enterprise clients. But the countermove is subtle and brilliant: Prometheus isn't selling a product. It's selling a platform that turns any existing enterprise software into an AI-powered agent swarm. That means they don't have to displace Oracle or SAP, they sit on top, orchestrating. Overcoming this abyss requires patience that 97% of founders lack. But if they pull it off, the payoff rewrites the industry. If Prometheus succeeds, it will transform the AI startup landscape just like AWS transformed the web. No more chasing every new model release, your entire business stack will be managed by an AI layer that handles data, compliance, and scaling automatically. For the founders in the 3%, this means they can build applications 10 times faster while competitors drown in integration debt. The transformation is already visible in Bezos's hiring. They've poached top talent from Meta's AI infrastructure team and Google DeepMind, not to build chat features, but to solve the cold start problem for enterprise AI. How do you bring a Fortune 500 company from zero to AI native in under 6 months? That is the moat. And the final piece of this puzzle is something nobody is talking about. The untold story behind the $12 billion is not about Jeff Bezos, it is about what he represents: the final shift of the AI era from discovery to deployment. Discovery was 2023 to 2025, when the big labs raced to build the best model. Deployment is 2026 onward, when the winners will be those who can turn models into reliable, boring, profitable infrastructure. For you, this changes everything. Whether you are a startup founder or an investor, the playbook now is not to bet on the next breakthrough algorithm. It is to bet on the plumbing layer. The 3% get this. And that is why Bezos just wrote the biggest check in AI history. If you want to see the patterns before the crowd, subscribe.